Today on Community Cooking, we have our very own host cooking on the other side. Chef Kawakami is here making a chicken stir fry served alongside apple fried rice. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and relax. We have another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekajus, and I'm excited to have another Community Cooking host, but he's also a chef, caterer, everything extraordinaire, Chef Kawakami.
Hello, thank you for having me again.
I love having you here because your energy is so great, and your
thank you.
passion for cooking, baking, everything is out of this world. So it's fun.
Well, thank you. I love what I do. I really do, and so it's not work for me. I really enjoy it. So today we have some things that are actually very simple that I kind of grew up with, even though my family's like barely Asian. We're like it's a very weak Asian. I grew up in Arizona and Texas, so yeah. But fried rice, but I'm doing an apple fried rice, and then I'm going to be making a chicken stir fry with a secret trick.
So we're going to start with the fried rice. So
simple.
I love it, easy.
So we have just a regular neutral oil. We're not using olive oil because we're making an Asian style dish. So I want to have a neutral oil, soy sauce. A little salt and pepper, of course, mushrooms, frozen peas, leftover rice. These are simple ingredients.
Leftover, and you can even
How many times have you come home and this is still sitting in your fridge?
And my latest thing is I'm weirdly obsessed with fried rice, so this is awesome.
Onions and then apples.
So apples, tons of different varieties. You have some red.
These actually, I only like Fuji apples.
Okay, Fuji I love.
They're
those
my favorite.
Were my dad's favorite.
That's so funny. Yeah, they're my favorite apples. Some apples can be kind of mealy, and these are a nice sturdy apple. They're a little sweet, but they're crisp at the same time. I'm going to save the green to top with, and then this down here to put in our rice.
And then how much, you obviously want the tip of that off.
Yeah.
But then how much do you take the whole bulbous part off?
See, what I do, what's funny? It's a good thing you asked this question.
I'm curious.
It's like when I see people chop lettuce, sometimes they cut off the end and then they're trying to hold it. Leave the end on. That's your handle.
So I should hold it this way.
Exactly, yeah.
Funny
this is your handle because you're not going to use it. So start chopping this way down the onion.
See, I always go That's why he's the chef.
And that's why you ask the good questions.
I love it. So, and about how many green onions?
You know what? 2 is probably more than enough.
2's fine.
Yeah, and
you can use the other as a bouquet.
Exactly. Well, we can also use that too in our other dish. Because we're making the stir fry, and so a lot of these same ingredients are going to transfer into our stir fry.
You like doing that, which I love.
I don't want to make a bunch of trips to the store,
No.
We're going to the farmer's market once.
Once is all. Only once.
And no one's checking your knife cuts, so don't be self-conscious with a stir fry or a fried rice.
Now, fried rice, a lot of people put egg in it.
Yes, and you could absolutely do eggs. See, because we're putting apple in this, I just didn't feel like the egg went.
Yeah, that's true.
And it makes this completely vegetarian, vegan, if you will, without even trying. It just happens to be. They do. Okay,
I have to laugh because we were talking before the show, and I said I can't do any sort of onion. Even these sting my eyes.
Oh, that's...
Isn't that funny? Not fun. I mean, not bad. I'm not going to cry.
Yeah.
Only tears of joy when I'm in the kitchen with Jeff. Only tears of joy. So
this is actually very simple. I think you were telling me that you were recently in Hawaii and obsessed with fried rice.
Well, every dish just about in the Hawaiian Islands, especially breakfast, comes with white rice, and they pile it on. So I was like, what am I going to do with all this rice? And my boyfriend's like, how about fried rice? So I just did it with a teeny bit of oil, a little bit of soy, an egg, and then I cook some ham up first, because I think that's key too. If you heat the ham, and then I actually read online, and then you do the eggs in the middle, and then you add the rice at the end. And I'm obsessed. So then when I saw the show was coming up, I'm like, perfect. This is white sticky rice.
That's actually not sticky rice. That is jasmine rice. You can use any rice.
Because can you use brown rice? Because I know people are all about the health kick for brown rice.
I've just eaten too much brown rice in my life, or I don't want to see it anymore. Like Jeff and brown rice are done. Yeah. No more friends.
No more friends with brown rice. Now, how small? You're going to cut the onion.
I'm going to cut the onion. Yes.
How small do
You
you
know,
want the
just
apple?
make a little dice. Make it kind of match the onions, you know? Like,
asking a lot.
once again, we're not looking for perfect knife cuts,
Yeah.
you know? Because it's all going to go in here. And if you notice, I do want to note on here, I just put some oil and the mushrooms in here. I haven't salted them. Because
Okay.
I want them to get color. If you salt these right away, it's going to draw the moisture out and it's not going to brown.
Oh, that's where I go
That's
wrong on my
also-
sauteed mushrooms.
That's why they're the first thing in the pan.
Because I usually end up, like if you were going to say onion then mushrooms, I would do the onion first because it's, you
Because
know,
it needs
it's
to cook
tougher.
longer, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well, look at that. Any tips on slicing apples or chopping them?
You can either do it that way and just
Yeah.
cut around the
Not
core.
Jeff's way?
Well, see, you just cut around the core.
Oh, okay.
And then, so yeah, cut like right there, and then do another on the other side, and then you flip it over and cut the
Oh,
core
yeah.
out,
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
and then you just chop it up.
There's a cool little slicer.
Oh yeah.
I live off that at home.
So we're not going to be onion heavy in here. So I'm just gonna.
Thank you.
See, I'm only cutting like 3 slices, and this is the way I like to do my diced onions.
Okay.
So I just did a few slices, and then I'm just gonna boom, 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 and then we have a nice
With a
little
little
dice.
rhythm with that. Boom,
Little boom, 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 boom.
I'm
In the
very slow on my
pan.
apples. I'm sorry. I'm getting
No,
there.
it's perfectly fine because the onions are cooking, the mushrooms are cooking.
And still no salt or pepper.
No salt and pepper yet, just because I want them to brown first. And I'm going to take the woody ends, or the white ends of the onions,
Yeah.
because I want those to cook. Ooh, they're getting my eyes.
I know. Is it? I was like, is it just me being wimpy? Look, I'm using Jeff's knife, so I'm not doing this to move things around.
I appreciate that.
I know better because this is one sharp knife, and that's another thing. You have to have sharp knives in the kitchen.
I sharpen my knives very often. You should sharpen your knives at least every 6 months.
See, you want to know the last time I sharpened a knife?
Did you know that you
I
can take...
don't remember.
They probably were never sharpened.
No, I'm sure.
So I'm going to reserve this other onion for our stir fry.
See, which I love because now you're using stuff from both.
Yep, and I'm going to put these away because they're making my eyes water.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
it's all in
crying.
there. Yeah.
There's no crying on community cooking. Unless it's tears of joy because
Like,
you make such great
There's
food.
no crying in cooking. I'm like, I've seen people cry.
Yeah. Well, and I have learned, especially after years of hosting this show, that cooking and baking should be fun. Now, baking, you have to a little more, precise measurements.
Yeah.
I understand, but like fried rice, this is a great one, whatever you have in the fridge.
Exactly.
When I was on my trip, it was like, well, what do we have? Great.
You know what? I don't think we're going to need that second apple. That's
Okay. I'm tasting it now. Fuji R.
Fuji's are my favorite.
I just let him do the work. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, you actually did half the work if you think about it. We both chopped 2 things, yeah. So I'm just going to let this saute up.
Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I like the sweet and savory, and I haven't even tasted it. Now, peas.
Peas, those are frozen peas.
I was going to say, you can do frozen. Are frozen better than canned?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, frozen peas,
Tons.
they're picked at the optimal amount of freshness, and then they freeze them instantly.
Yeah.
And so you can have fresh peas whenever you want. And so I always keep frozen peas around because you can just drop them into a dish. I mean, if you
In
want...
case you hurt yourself and you got to...
Exactly. Yeah. And I hurt
That
myself.
too.
I hurt myself a lot. I do. But no, frozen peas are great. They're super fresh. Canned peas, sometimes canned vegetables are just sad.
Yeah, these are, much more fresh and firm. Canned peas get a little mushy.
Exactly. And so I'm going to add some salt now. Even though we're adding soy sauce, I want to season the vegetables first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add the rice, and then I'm going to season it again. Whenever you're making something vegetarian or vegan or anything that's just vegetable based, you want to make sure that every element gets salted.
Okay.
So everything gets seasoned.
Now that is great. So would you add some fried rice, and like you said, get whatever you have. I love mushrooms. I love peas. The carrots, I don't mind in fried rice.
Yeah, they got to be small.
Yeah.
Because they need to
Bite
cook.
size.
Yeah, they need to cook up. You need to, that's when I told you to cut the onions the apples the same
One of the
size as the
ingredients,
onions.
yeah.
Yeah, because you want everything to be about the same size. And I mean, a lot of people, I guess, the frozen peas and carrots, that's very common in fried rice. I don't know.
And whatever you like. I'm not a big cooked carrot fan, unless it's...
I love grilled carrots. Have you ever had grilled carrots?
I have at a supermarket here in town,
Yeah?
which I will not name, but they're very good. and I only got them because I thought they were grilled sweet potatoes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
It was a
funny.
mistake.
But I think grilled carrots are super underrated and delicious.
Really?
Yeah, because it brings out, they just have, I don't know, they have more of a body than you would think they would, and they get kind of nutty, and it's just, when they're cooked properly, they have texture, but they can still be creamy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love, look at me like wax poetic about carrots.
I know. Well, my mother, God bless her, did a lot of carrots growing up to get us our veggies, and they were a little mushy, and they were fresh, but they were overcooked. Now, when she started putting like brown sugar on them to get us to eat them, then it was fine.
Everything's better with a little brown sugar on it.
Yeah. Hello. So, and like you said, this is just jasmine rice.
Jasmine rice. True confession, I actually have these boxes all over my house. This is leftover from a bar mitzvah I worked this weekend. And I was there like, do you guys want some rice? And I was like, oh, I'll take rice. I was like, I can reuse that.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, I waste nothing.
Well, and I did find when I had the sticky rice in Hawaii, I had to kind of mush it up a little.
Yeah, you got to break it up.
The first day I put it in the pan, and I was like, oh, crumb, and everything else was cooked.
Yeah, before I put this in the package, what I did is I broke it up with my hands, so it was nice and individual grains. And like we were saying before, I don't like mushy vegetables either, so we don't want anything here to be mushy. We're not cooking it too long. Like, this is still going to have a little texture to it. The mushrooms are cooked.
Which I'm shocked. Like I said, I always add the mushrooms last, so good to know. Well, so and these boxes, too, they're great if you're not a chef, caterer, and you also teach cooking lessons. We're going to get that cooking classes. Yes. We're going to get to that in a minute. But these are fun anytime to bring leftovers home to friends, if you made dinner for them.
Yeah, don't waste a thing. Yeah, you can give leftovers and that all the time, and you're not sad that you gave it up because it's not your favorite piece of Tupperware.
Yeah, exactly. I did lose my cake pan that was perfect size for a dish I make, and that was a couple Thanksgivings ago. It was very sad. So I would have to mix it up with, I don't have the muscle like you two. I would have to mix it up with the spatula.
Sometimes things do stick around the edge, so you have to have the spatula to get it down, but it's a nice way to get it
That spatula, by the way, I use it now for everything. I don't use like a flip because unless I make pancakes.
These things are amazing.
Eggs, everything, that kind of spatula.
Yeah, they're amazing. And this is one of those the head doesn't remove, so nothing gets stuck up in there because that's gross.
Yeah, no, all of mine they remove, so I throw them both in the dishwasher.
Yeah, I threw all mine away, and I got the kind that do not remove because then I don't have to worry about bacteria getting up in there.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it makes me crazy.
Well, it's because you're a chef, you're a caterer. You can't get people sick.
I think about it all the time. It's all I think about is cleanliness.
So you added the rice, but not the soy.
Not yet, because I want the rice to heat through first.
Okay.
Because the rice is basically, I mean, it's already cooked.
Yeah.
But I want it to get nice and warm, and then once I add the soy, because there's actually, there's liquid in it, it's going to help the rice hydrate as well.
Okay.
So now that I think that everything is warm, and
so
also
pretty,
it's fried rice, so you want it to hear it fry.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear it.
So we'll give it some squirts of soy sauce.
Oh. And yes, that's what turns the rice brown.
Exactly.
I know, for the longest time when I was little, I'm like, did they overcook it? Did they burn it? No, it's the soy sauce.
It's just soy sauce. I know a lot of people are like, oh, why is the rice brown? Is that brown rice? I'm like, it's just soy. The soy sauce is really what makes it fried rice.
Yeah.
It's really the easiest element.
But yeah, and some people do just like the brown rice, so your brown rice will be brown and then brown again.
Yeah.
I like white rice with this.
Maybe I'll try brown rice again someday, but I'm just
no,
burnt out.
Closed.
I went to this like hippie private school where they put like wheat germ on bananas and they put raisins in my chocolate pudding and
God, no.
Yeah, like we ate jicama snacks, and so I've been burnt out on that kind of health food.
Yeah, but you're fit. And
well,
you like
I try to eat healthy,
yeah.
and I try to exercise. Yeah, but I mean, we don't need to go eating tree branches. Yeah. Let's make something delicious. Stop making jicama a thing.
A good friend of ours who's on the show a lot is like, we eat healthy-ish when we're at home. And that's a good,
Yeah.
And something like this, nothing against fabulous restaurants out there, because there's some great ones. But this, like you said, you can control what puts, what's
how much sodium you put in your body, yeah. I know a lot of people are sensitive to MSG, and there's a lot of controversy about MSG. Because, glutamates are naturally occurring in food.
Yeah.
And MSG is it's monosodium glutamate. So it's just one molecule of the glutamate. And so a lot of people are like, well, that naturally occurs in food. That shouldn't be bad for you. But some people say, they get headaches from it.
I actually cannot have MSG.
Okay.
Because it affects me, and I haven't tried it in years.
Yeah.
But I was going to talk about soy.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law does amino something
oh, yeah.
instead of soy.
I know what you're talking about.
It's brown stuff, and it says amino on it, and
Yeah.
that's all I know, and she uses it as soy.
Yeah. there's amino acids in the soy, and amino acids, they're because there's branched chain amino acids and then there's regular amino acids, and amino acids are the building blocks of protein.
Yes.
So whenever you eat something, so like when you combine like the rice and the peas, that becomes a complete protein because you complete the chain of amino acids.
Okay.
So that's what makes something a complete protein. So when people who are vegan or vegetarian, they don't get enough protein in their diet, they need to supplement it by getting all those amino acids that build protein. That is the actual technical.
Well, no, my boyfriend put me on amino acids, for the gym. He's like, let's go. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Well,
He's like,
amino acids are amazing for the gym because it helps with recovery.
Yes, that's what he said. So I'm learning all this stuff. I'd rather just have a big bowl of ice cream and not go anywhere, but, you got to have your balance.
All right, so our rice is done.
It looks so yummy.
Really simple, right?
Yeah, it smells great. I love the apple in it. I love sweet and savory.
Yeah,
Sweet
the
and salty,
apples.
sweet and
Am I
savory.
getting it everywhere? I'm probably
You
getting
are,
it everywhere.
but
I know
that's
I'm always
okay.
getting it. I'm going to blame the pan because it's so big.
It is very large. Large pan for
But
sure.
I love a pan that's large because it has a bigger surface area, so things cook quicker.
I have one that doesn't even fit in my sink. But
So there we go. And then you just do a little green onion on top for garnish.
Oh,
Fried
it's
rice.
beautiful. All right, well, we made the side dish to our stir fry. So when we come back, we're going to do a chicken stir fry. And he says he has some tips I've never heard of about chicken and
Baking
soda. So I said I only use it to, make my fridge smell good. So we will see. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching Community Cooking. Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I'm with Jeff Kawakami, who is a chef, caterer, teaches cooking classes, and is a host here on Community Cooking. But we three on the other side today.
Yes, and the other side is easy because this is my comfort zone.
I know, you're like, I love to cook. So we just made an apple fried rice, which I can't wait to taste. And now chicken stir fry.
Chicken stir fry. So we have all these lovely farmer's market vegetables. We're going to start with the chicken. Then we have onions. We already chopped some earlier. And green
Thank you.
onions, which you already chopped earlier.
Because it makes me cry.
Sesame oil, baking soda,
Yeah,
which is the special ingredient.
we'll get to that.
Salt, pepper, garlic, mushrooms, broccoli, snap peas, which I love, bok choy, and carrots.
Love it, love it. And that's a lot of garlic.
We're not going to use all of it. It's just here because...
I mean, I am Greek, but still. All right, so stand by everyone. Here is the trick for baking soda.
So what we're going to do with the chicken, we're going to put a little baking soda on it. And
Look at me, I'm just like,
a little salt and pepper.
I love that you always combine your salt and pepper. Makes it easy.
It's just quicker that way. And
Yeah.
also, if it gets contaminated, we can throw it away.
Okay.
Because you don't want to cross-contaminate your salt and pepper, ever.
There you go.
I'm going to splash a little bit of water.
Okay.
That sodium bicarbonate starts activating into the chicken. And what this is doing is we're alkalizing the meat.
Well, of course we are.
So what this does is it prevents the protein from bonding in the chicken, and so it prevents it from getting tough.
Okay. You know what I was guessing? It was kind of like cornstarch when people fry up chicken and it gets gooey, crunchy,
I know exactly
whatever.
what you're talking about. Yeah, cornstarch makes a nice crusty shell when you're frying, like fried chicken, that kind of stuff.
But this is healthier, thank you.
Yeah, this is not actually going to make a shell on it, but it's what it's going to do. It's going to penetrate the meat, and it's going to make it more tender. You know when you go to stir fry, sometimes you go to a Chinese takeout place, and they have, like, you get the meat, and it's really tough. And then sometimes you get it, and you bite it, and it's, like, velvety, like the chicken just falls apart, and you're like,
At
this is
home, sometimes when I overcook it, it gets tough.
yeah. Well, that's, with stir fry, people overcook stir fry all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Guilty as charged.
I know you said you like doing the
Okay,
peas.
I love doing the snap peas, because I love them and I eat them, but people can actually choke on these.
Yeah, there's little strings. So you either want to cut them down. That's exactly what you do. You got to take the strings out.
Of it. Yeah, on both sides, and it takes a while, but I find it very relaxing.
Well, it's relaxing when you're not choking.
Well, that I find it relaxing, and not health conscious, but not a health hazard.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get a little quick chop on the mushrooms.
Because you want the snap peas whole.
Correct. Yeah, I love snap peas. They're really good. And the recipe, you can use green beans if you want. I don't really like green beans. I like snap peas.
I'm a weirdo. I love every vegetable out there, even Brussels sprouts, because nowadays they make them so great.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Oh, well, I used to hide them in my milk when I was little. Don't do that at home, children. But
Did that work, actually? Did that work?
yeah, till my mom. Then I had to offer to do the dishes, of course. So, 'cause-
Exactly. So she couldn't see that it was in there.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, how did that work?
oh yeah, well, back in the day they didn't make them flavorful. Nowadays, oh look, that one was cut a little too small. No, I
So-
love veggie. That's why I love stir fry. And so the chicken, it just sits there.
It just sits there. This takes, I was actually reading a study online. It takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to tenderize. And then I think one of those fancy magazines, they did a test and they left it in there for 15 and left it in there for 30. And there wasn't any difference.
Oh, okay.
So 15 minutes
well,
is the
it's
magic
nice to
number
do
you're
it
looking
ahead.
for. Yeah.
All right, so you have a very hot pan.
Very hot
and-
pan, sesame oil. Toasted sesame oil is
Okay.
going to add all the flavor.
Which I always wondered. I'm like, do I need it? But buy it.
Yeah, and then you make sure you get toasted sesame oil.
Okay. Okay. Sugar snap peas, or deveined, as I like to call them.
Deveined, I like
So
that.
the chicken goes in first.
The chicken goes in first.
Okay, bok choy. I've never cut up bok choy.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
Well, let me
bouquet.
help you.
So take off the ends.
Once again, leave the ends on. That's your handle.
Oh, see, I gotta just flip everything over. Okay.
And you're just going to give it a rough chop. Just
Oh, okay. That I can do with his very sharp knife.
And
We're
then I
talking-
will do the carrots. To take off the ends there.
I like-
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And
I
I
just
always
wanted
tell
to
people,
chop all the way down.
see, I teach cooking classes all the time, and I tell people when you get to an end of a vegetable, what's more important, the vegetable or your fingers? You know?
I would say my fingers, and
Yeah.
a few people who have watched me in the kitchen would agree.
So yeah, I'm just gonna give these carrots a chop, and then when I get to the ends, I'm not going to sacrifice my fingers. I'm just gonna do that.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
Can I put are you going to do vegetables at different times? Or?
I am, but I'm keeping those here. So go ahead and put
Okay,
those in there.
I
Those
can
are
pull
both
those.
delicate items.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. When you get to the end, stop chopping.
Stop chopping.
I always, need to use every single bit. But you don't. Okay.
So we got our chicken cooking up.
Oh. And we just seasoned it with a little salt and pepper, right?
A little salt and pepper. So we're gonna let that cook
cleaning
up.
up your rogue carrots.
I'm a mess today. Vegetables everywhere, fried rice all over the counter.
I tell you. Okay, here's a little trick. The stems of the broccoli, I like to eat them as chips.
Oh, okay.
You can cook them.
You can totally cook them. Don't waste your stems.
No,
Once
I
again,
love-
I don't waste anything.
No.
Yeah, you can totally eat and cook up those stems of the broccoli.
I dip them in hummus or whatever.
All right, so I'm making sure that the chicken is browning on all the other sides.
Okay.
And now I'm actually going to take this out. It's not fully cooked,
Okay.
but I don't want to
Yeah.
overcook it.
Yes, that I noticed.
Yes, it's not fully cooked, and that's also why it's okay if I put it back in the bowl where it was raw,
Okay.
because I'm going to continue to cook it
Okay. I was going to
after I
say.
cook the vegetables and throw it across the counter.
It's all right. I am a messy, messy cooker, and I like it.
So I'm going to get this on high. Now, stir fries, the key is getting everything chopped, and then once you start, it goes like that.
You got to go. You got to keep going.
So we're going to turn up the heat high.
Now, the onion, or the onion. I'm looking at garlic, calling it onion. Do we chop that or just put it in?
Yeah, you want to give that a rough chop for me?
Sure.
Just maybe 3 cloves. That's perfect.
3 is all you're getting. I got to talk to people later, don't you know?
So now I'm going to throw those mushrooms in, because once again, they take the longest to cook.
See, I am thinking they take the least longest. The least longest? Say that 5 times fast. But isn't that crazy? Okay. My rough chop. Oh, I do love the smell of garlic.
Right. So we're going to let those cook up.
And again, toasted sesame seed oil.
Oh, and I want to note, too, I'm not using a wok. You know, a lot of people say you got to cook Asian food in a wok. It's actually not practical unless you have an actual wok stove. Because
I was wondering about that.
the surface that gets hot is right
Yeah.
here. That's where your flame is. When you have a wok, you have the tall sides. Wok stoves, I think they're like 1,500 degrees. You know, it's something ridiculous like that. I can't remember. But you're not going to get that kind of heat from your own stove unless they have like inserts for certain stoves. But still, the flames don't get as hot as they would in a wok, so you're not going to get that intense heat.
That
So
makes
using a
sense.
wok on a regular stove is actually not practical.
Well, and I have a glass top like this at home, so it, I always think you have to at least have gas to use a wok.
At least,
So,
but
yeah.
yeah. But you need an actual wok stove. So I'm going to throw in the onions. And once again, we don't have to use all of the onions.
Thank you. No, I love cooked onions. Raw and me, not so much.
And then next are going to be the
Because
carrots.
they take a little longer, yet you still want them crisp.
Yeah, I like my carrots to have texture. No mushy carrots. We're talking
No
about that.
mushy carrots.
And then now the salt.
And even though we're going to use soy, you always say you need to salt
Exactly,
almost
because
every level that you put in.
you want to salt each vegetable. When you have the soy at the end, it hasn't had a chance really to penetrate the vegetable, and that's what you're looking for. Is you want the salt to penetrate the vegetable so they each get flavor.
Okay. Yum. Oh, and it's pretty. Stir fry is so pretty.
It is. It's colorful. It's supposed to be healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about the fresh veggies.
And then a little broccoli.
A little broccoli.
We love broccoli.
If you think they're a
there
little
was
big, that's a
spare
big piece.
snap pea.
You get back out.
Look at me. I'm making more snap peas now. How did I not see those? I'm
They're hidden.
slacking on the job.
It was a cornucopia of veg.
It was, but I love my snap peas, so I'm doing more of them. These I eat
Beautiful.
like candy. And I have your garlic over here, too.
Well, you know what? I think it's time for garlic.
Garlic?
Yeah.
Garlic it up. I'll let you grab that.
I don't like to add it too soon because I like a lot of garlic flavor.
Yeah.
If you don't like a lot of garlic flavor, add at the beginning. But once you burn that garlic,
It's
this is ruined.
It's burned.
So yeah, you don't want to burn your garlic. That's why I always wait. You can see the steam coming off of there.
Now, do we do the rest of the veggies before the chicken goes back in? The delicate vegetables?
We're going to add those pretty much almost last.
Okay.
Yeah. So once this gets a little bit more heat on them,
And then
Which-
the chicken goes in after that? I know.
you listen, the
Gotta do
food's
the
talking to
stir
you. It's talking to you. It's saying I'm cooking. I need a little more salt because I'm big and I'm broccoli. At least that's what it said to me. I don't know if you didn't hear that.
I heard it. Both ears, man.
So chicken goes back in, and there's a little bit of chicken juice.
Yeah.
Which
that's
I know
okay.
sounds gross, but it's good actually because it's
I
gonna
trust ya.
it's gonna cook one, and two, it's gonna steam because we need a
Okay.
little steam for that broccoli.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that's going to cook down a little bit. Then we'll add our delicate vegetables. It's a great time for a quick break while the chicken cooks.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to have it all plated up. And, of course, my favorite part, tasting. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Community Cooking. Welcome back to Community Cooking. All right, Jeff, I have a spoon. I'm serving myself.
Yes, please.
So we have the apple fried rice, which I can't wait to taste.
Yes, apple fried rice, which is an amazing base for our chicken stir fry.
Oh, I'm going straight in for a big piece of chicken and a couple veggies.
Yes, my favorite is actually the broccoli and the bok choy are my favorites.
See, I'm a mushroom and broccoli. Let's see. Okay, the fried rice with that apple. Night and day. Sweet, savory, the flavors are amazing. All right, now the tenderized with baking soda chicken.
Oh yeah, the chicken.
It's so light. The stir fry is not too salty,
It's soft. It's not overcooked.
but the veggies are still crisp. Oh, all right, well, we're going to continue eating, but
Oh, yeah.
we have to say bye to everyone at home. Thanks so much. It's always such a blast when you're here hosting or chefing it up.
Thank you. It's always good to see you, and I love being here.
Oh, it's great. On behalf of Jeff, myself, and the entire crew, thanks so much for watching. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.